Do you wake up multiple times a night just to pee? You're not alone, and it's not just aging. It's called Nocturia, and it's quietly draining your energy, wrecking your sleep, and damaging your kidneys. But what if the answer isn't medication, but vegetables? In this video, I'll show you the 5 most powerful foods that calm your bladder, heal your kidneys, and help you sleep through the night, naturally. Nocturia, the silent thief of deep sleep. A condition that haunts millions, yet few know how to fight it. But today, you will learn how to strike back, not with pills or procedures, but with food. Because the battlefield lies not in the doctor's office, but on your plate, and the right vegetables. They are your soldiers. He who sleeps deeply governs wisely, but he who is robbed of sleep is conquered slowly from within. Nocturia is not merely a health condition, it is a subtle betrayal, a quiet but relentless enemy that operates under the cover of night, draining your strength while you remain unaware of its true cost. Most dismiss it. I just drink too much water, they say. It's part of getting older. Lies, comforting lies whispered by inaction, because the truth is this: Nocturia is not normal, and it's not harmless. It is a symptom of an imbalance, one that starts at the root of your body's power system, the kidneys. Each time you rise from bed to urinate, your body is interrupted in its most essential process of repair. You are pulled from deep, healing sleep into a state of physical and mental alertness. It may last only minutes, but the damage lingers for hours. Your sleep cycle fractures, growth hormone release is stunted, memory consolidation fails, and your body's stress response is quietly activated. Cortisol rises, melatonin falls, and you wonder why you're exhausted, foggy, anxious, and aging faster than you should. But what is most sinister is this: Nocturia is rarely treated seriously in the beginning. Like a cunning adversary, it doesn't attack with a blade. It chips away slowly. You rationalize it. I just drank too much tea, or it's only once a night. But once becomes twice, then 3, soon. Your nights are fragmented, your mornings sluggish, your focus gone. You snap at loved ones, you rely on caffeine, you accept poor sleep as your new reality. And here's the tragedy: while you focus on the inconvenience of night trips to the bathroom, the real war is happening inside. Nocturia is often a signal, an early warning from your kidneys and bladder that something is off. Excess pressure, mild inflammation, fluid retention, poor filtration, hormonal imbalance. These are the whispers your body sends before the organ itself cries out in disease. The Machiavellian mind understands: never ignore the early signs of revolt. When a province shows unrest, the wise ruler strengthens its leadership, secures its resources, and restores order. Before rebellion becomes revolution, the same is true with your health. Nocturia, in its mildest form, is your bladder's cry for help. In its chronic state, it's a declaration that your filtration system, the kidneys, is under siege. This is why we must act not with hesitation, but with strategy, because in the game of health, those who wait are conquered, and what's worse, this condition does not exist in isolation. Nocturia often coexists with high blood pressure, diabetes, sleep apnea, even heart failure. It is not a pebble, it is a ripple in a pond that expands outward, touching every system you rely on. And if you're over 30, the chances of developing it rise every year, especially if your diet is modern, acidic, processed. You must understand, the body is a kingdom, and the kidneys are the ministers of balance, managing your blood, filtering waste, regulating pressure. When they falter, chaos spreads, and the first sign of that chaos, interrupted sleep. So tonight, when you rise again under the dim bathroom light, remember this: it is not normal, it is not minor, it is the first drumbeat of an uprising, and what follows, if left unaddressed, is fatigue, decline, decay. But not today, because today you learn how to fight back, not with prescription pads and side effects, but with food, with nature, with precision. And the first move, to understand the connection between your kidneys, your bladder, and this nightly war. A wise ruler investigates the root of a rebellion, not merely its noise. And so too must you look beyond the symptom to the origin of your nightly disturbance. Nocturia is not an isolated affliction, It is a signal, a consequence of a deeper breakdown within your internal power structure. To understand how to correct it, you must first understand the chain of command within your body and how a single failing organ can unravel the whole system. At the heart of this disruption lie two vital organs, the kidneys and the bladder, guardians of your internal balance, silent until they are ignored. The kidneys are not passive filters, they are strategic regulators. These two bean-shaped organs monitor every drop of fluid in your blood. They decide what stays, what goes, what's reabsorbed, and what is discarded. Their power lies in discretion, like a wise minister advising a king. The kidney quietly governs from the shadows. But when this governance is weakened by poor diet, high sodium, sugar, stress, inflammation, the kidney's judgment falters, and when kidneys falter, they overcompensate. Excess fluid builds in your tissues, your blood becomes heavier with toxins, your electrolyte balance teeters, and worst of all, the kidneys begin dumping that excess liquid at the wrong time at night. Why at night? Because when you lie down, your blood pressure stabilizes, the body redistributes fluids that pooled in your legs or tissues during the day. Suddenly, this shift signals the kidneys to purge, the bladder fills, the message is sent to brain, wake up, evacuate, and the cycle repeats. It's not random, it's not age, it's poor regulation. The system has collapsed, but the bladder too must be examined. It is not a passive container, it is a reactive, muscular organ. When inflamed or overstimulated, even small amounts of fluid trigger urgency. If the bladder lining is irritated by acidic foods, caffeine, alcohol, or chronic inflammation, it becomes hypersensitive. What once held 500 ml comfortably now panics at 200 ml. This is why some people feel the urge to urinate multiple times per night with only a few drops passed. It is not volume, it is inflammation. So now we see the full strategy of the enemy. A weakened kidney overproduces urine at night, and an inflamed bladder overreacts to even small volumes. Together, they create the perfect trap: constant awakening, incomplete rest, rising frustration, and you are left thinking, I just have a small bladder, or it's my age. No, this is not normal. This is dysfunction. You wouldn't ignore a general who can no longer command his army, so why tolerate organs that no longer serve their function with honor? Nocturia is the public symptom, but the real issue is internal disarray, and here's the hidden danger. Long-standing kidney dysfunction often goes unnoticed. Your kidneys can lose up to 90% of their function before any major symptoms appear. By then, medication and dialysis become the kingdom's last resort. But you, yes you, have the power to restore order before such tyranny takes hold. To fix nocturia, you must fix the system. Reduce the kidney's nighttime burden. Calm the bladder's hypersensitivity. Balance the fluid distribution during the day so it doesn't flood the gates at night. How? Not with invasive force, but with strategic diplomacy through food, through vegetables that contain the exact minerals, antioxidants, and hydration cues your organs recognize and respond to. But beware, not all food is created equal. Some agitate, some inflame, some overexcite, and others, they heal. In the next movement, we will unveil 5 such agents of balance. These are not your average vegetables. They are your reinforcements, biological emissaries that will negotiate peace inside your body and reclaim your sleep, because in the grand chessboard of health, knowing the pieces is not enough. A weak kingdom relies on potions. A wise one draws strength from the land. When men feel sick, they reach for medicine. When they are tired, they reach for stimulants, but when they are ruled by discomfort, when the body rebels in the night, they rarely ask, "What did I feed my kingdom?" And therein lies the flaw. In this era of synthetic solutions and pharmacological dominion, we have forgotten the subtle power of food, and more specifically, the ancient biochemical power of vegetables. Yes, vegetables, not as bland accompaniments on a plate, but as strategic remedies. as natural medicine disguised in the form of plants, because while the modern world worships pills and patents, your body still speaks the language of minerals, antioxidants, and plant compounds. You see, each vegetable is not simply nutrition, it is information, and in the context of Nocturia, the bladder and kidneys are not crying out for pharmaceuticals, they're crying out for balance. The right vegetables speak directly to these organs. They soothe inflammation, recalibrate fluid management, and restore cellular communication. They are, quite literally, messengers of healing. Let us examine this through the lens of strategy. If your kidneys are overworked, inflamed, or congested, the goal is not to burden them further. The goal is to lighten the load, to gently flush toxins without stripping the body of electrolytes or dehydrating the tissues. Pharmaceuticals often act as hammers. Vegetables, on the other hand, are scalpels, precise, effective, restorative. Take cucumber, for example, often dismissed as just water, but within that water lies a matrix of minerals, potassium, magnesium, silica, that gently detoxify the kidneys. Cucumber doesn't force urination, it facilitates filtration. That is intelligence. Or consider beetroot. Rich in nitrates, it improves renal blood flow, ensuring oxygen reaches every filtering nephron. The result: better kidney performance, lower blood pressure, less nocturnal urination. Then there's asparagus, the vegetable most misunderstood. Yes, it has a strong aroma in urine, but that's not a flaw. That's a sign of methylated sulfur compounds, which fight inflammation and support detox pathways. Asparagus doesn't inflame the bladder, it calms it, and your body knows it. But how does the body know? Because evolution wrote this language long before modern science decoded it. Your organs recognize the phytochemicals in these vegetables the way a fortress recognizes its allies. Even pumpkin, often associated with autumn indulgence, is a medicinal powerhouse. Its seeds contain phytosterols and zinc, both proven to reduce bladder overactivity and support hormonal balance. A stabilized bladder is a quiet bladder, and a quiet bladder means uninterrupted sleep. And what of spinach? Often seen as a source of iron alone, but to the wise, it is more than that. Spinach carries magnesium, a mineral most people lack, yet desperately need to regulate nerve impulses and muscle tone, including, yes, the detrusor muscle of the bladder, the one that contracts and wakes you up at night. These vegetables are not random selections. They are chosen for their targeted biochemical effects. This is food not for pleasure, but for precision, for leadership over your own biology, and when combined strategically, timed correctly throughout the day, they do more than reduce nocturia. They restore sovereignty over your body because, in the Machiavellian view, food is not indulgence. It is influence. Every bite you take is a command sent to the cells, a signal that says, inflame or calm, weaken or strengthen, sleep or suffer. So you must choose your soldiers wisely. Feed your kingdom with intelligence, and recognize vegetables not as peasant food, but as royal advisors in disguise. They do not shout. They whisper, but if you learn to listen, they will win your war for you. Now that you understand their power, let us meet your 5 most loyal allies, hand-selected vegetables that, when deployed properly, will bring your kidneys and bladder back into balance. Victory belongs not to the one with the most weapons, but to the one who knows which to use, and when. You now understand the threat. You've traced its roots to the dysfunction of your kidneys and bladder. You've acknowledged that nocturia is not merely an annoyance but a symptom of biological disorder, a fracture in your body's command system. Now it is time to act, not with desperation, but with tactical precision, with food as your allies and vegetables as your strategic agents. Here, I present to you 5 vegetables, not chosen at random, not selected for flavor, but selected for function. Each one has been deployed in cultures for centuries long before modern science caught up, and today their power will become your power. Cucumber 1. Cucumber, the gentle cleanser. Do not mistake its softness for weakness. Cucumber is your first line of defense. It's composed of over 95% structured water, but not just any water. This is water bound with minerals like potassium and magnesium, elements that facilitate gentle kidney filtration without overburdening the body. Cucumber soothes inflammation, reduces internal heat, and helps prevent uric acid buildup, a hidden contributor to kidney stress. It doesn't flush you violently like a synthetic diuretic. Instead, it restores your body's natural hydration rhythms, encouraging smoother filtration by day so you can rest by night. Eat it raw, with skin on, early in the day. Let it begin the purification process before the sun sets. Roasted sweet potato 2. Beetroot, the circulation commander. Beetroot's deep crimson color is no accident. It is the mark of nitrate-rich compounds, which your body converts into nitric oxide, a molecule that dilates blood vessels and improves renal blood flow. The kidneys are not static filters. They rely on steady circulation to cleanse effectively. Without it, waste accumulates and you become the reservoir. Beetroot enhances oxygen delivery to every nephron, reducing strain and improving efficiency. But take note, raw beets offer more nitrates. Roast them lightly if needed, but never boil away their essence. Pair them with a dash of black pepper to activate absorption. Herb 3. Asparagus, the anti-inflammatory. Blade sharp, potent, unforgiving. Asparagus slices through inflammation like a blade through silk. It contains asparagine, a natural diuretic compound that promotes urinary flow while simultaneously lowering kidney stress. But what makes asparagus exceptional is its glutathione boosting capacity, one of the most powerful antioxidant defenses your body can generate internally. And where does glutathione do much of its work? The kidneys. Include asparagus steamed or grilled, combine with olive oil. Consume in moderation. Its potency is real, and its action should be respected. 4. Pumpkin, the bladder stabilizer, the fruit of royalty. Often overlooked, pumpkin is a bladder specialist. Within its orange flesh and seeds lies zinc, phytoestrogens, and essential fatty acids, nutrients that reduce bladder wall irritation and calm overactive detrusor muscles. Pumpkin is especially valuable for those with urge incontinence or irritable bladder conditions. It restores tone without tightening. It calms without numbing, a true diplomat in the court of internal health. Roast the flesh, lightly toast the seeds. Add to soups or blend into evening meals. Let it settle the system as night approaches. 5. Spinach, the mineral restorer. Spinach is not a mere salad filler. It is a mineral courier delivering vital agents, magnesium, potassium, folate, to where they are needed most. The nervous system that governs bladder control relies heavily on magnesium. Without it, the bladder spasms. The muscles tighten, urgency rises. Spinach rebuilds this communication pathway and regulates the electrical signals your body sends in the night. Choose fresh spinach, lightly sauté it in garlic and olive oil. Avoid overcooking. It silences the very messengers you need. These 5 are not just vegetables, they are strategic operators. Each one performs a distinct role: cleansing, circulating, calming, toning, regulating. They do not work in chaos, they work in orchestration, and like any wise ruler, you must learn not just who your allies are, but how to deploy them. That is the next phase, because food alone without timing, discipline, and synergy is merely a gesture. You are not here to gesture, you are here to win. A strategy without execution is a dream. Execution without timing is suicide. You have now been introduced to your allies. 5 vegetables of purpose, each selected for their ability to restore your kidneys and bladder to balance. But information, though powerful, is not yet victory. Knowing the identity of the solution is merely the first step. You must now become the commander who not only knows what to do but how, when, and why to do it. This is the art of tactical discipline. And in health, as in war, timing is everything. Alarm clock when to eat align with the body's natural rhythms. Let us begin with timing, the most misunderstood element of nutrition. Many make the fatal mistake of consuming diuretics, raw vegetables, or detox foods too late in the day. This is not healing, this is sabotage, because while you aim to flush toxins, your body is entering its restorative phase. It wants calm, stillness, internal silence. To fix nocturia, you must support the kidneys early, not flood the system at night. Therefore, morning is your initiation point. Start your day with hydrating, potassium-rich vegetables like cucumber and spinach. These wake the kidneys gently and signal the body to release excess fluid early, so your bladder doesn't sound the alarm at 2 a.m. Afternoon is your reinforcement. This is when your digestive fire is strongest. Introduce beetroot and asparagus here, either as part of your lunch or a cooked side. Their detoxifying and anti-inflammatory effects will work with your system, not against it. Evening is not the time for aggressive cleansing. It is the time for stabilization. This is where pumpkin enters warm, calming, rich in compounds that relax the bladder and calm the nervous system. No cold salads, no raw juices after 6 p.m. Every bite should say one thing to your body: sleep is coming, prepare. Fork and knife with plate. How to eat form, combination, and cooking method. Strategy lies in the form of consumption. Let us break this down. Cucumber must be eaten raw. Slice it thin, keep the skin, pair with lemon and a pinch of Himalayan salt. Do this within the first 90 minutes of waking. Beetroot should be steamed or roasted, not boiled. Boiling strips its nitrates. Combine with garlic or black pepper to enhance circulation. Asparagus demands respect. Steam it lightly to maintain its glutathione boosting properties. Overcooking makes it lose its sharpness, its biochemical edge. Pumpkin, best eaten in the evening, should be roasted or made into a soup. Its warmth soothes the body and primes the bladder for stillness. Spinach must never be drowned in oil or dairy. It thrives when sautéed lightly, ideally with olive oil and garlic, eaten with lunch or as an afternoon support. Avoid combining all 5 in one meal. That is not strategy, it is clutter. Use them across the day, like a chess master places pieces across the board. Repeat button. Why to eat purpose before pleasure. You do not consume these vegetables for taste. You consume them for function. Each one whispers a command to your organs. Cucumber tells your kidneys to hydrate, not hoard. Beetroot signals improved blood flow to fragile nephron networks. Asparagus delivers a targeted anti-inflammatory strike. Pumpkin stabilizes the bladder's panic response. Spinach regulates the minerals that govern muscle contractions, especially the ones that wake you up. This is cellular diplomacy, not indulgence. These vegetables do not ask for praise, they ask for proper use. Direct hit the command plan. A sample routine: morning 7-9 a.m. Cucumber plus lemon water, small portion of sautéed spinach with eggs or grains. Afternoon 12-2 p.m. Roasted beetroot and steamed asparagus with main meal. Evening 6-7 p.m. Pumpkin soup or roasted pumpkin with a small meal. Herbal tea. No caffeine, no fluids after 8 p.m. Repeat this for 7-10 days, and your body will adapt. Your kidneys will stabilize, your bladder will calm, and you, once a prisoner to the night, will reclaim your rest. Because the ruler who sleeps in peace rules with clarity by day, every empire falls not from one great blow, but from 1,000 ignored warnings. Nocturia is not just about waking to urinate. It is about the gradual erosion of your authority over your own body. It is about lost sleep, yes. But more than that, it is about lost clarity, lost strength, lost command. The body, like a kingdom, can only withstand disorder for so long before it begins to fracture. But now, you know the signals. You know that the body speaks in symptoms, not words, and you've learned to listen. You've uncovered the truth that your kidneys and bladder are not failing out of age, but out of neglect that can be reversed not by force, but by intelligence. You've learned that food is not simply fuel, it is diplomacy, it is governance, it is strategy. The 5 vegetables you now know, cucumber, beetroot, asparagus, pumpkin, spinach, are more than nutrients. They are instruments of correction, each one designed by nature and validated by science to bring your filtration system back into harmony. Not overnight, not by magic, but through daily, deliberate action. You also understand that timing is everything. That to eat the right food at the wrong hour is to lose a battle you didn't need to fight. You've seen how structure creates results, and how discipline, not guesswork, builds health that lasts. So the question is no longer, why am I waking up at night? The question is, what am I going to do about it? The answer, you act, not someday, not next week. Now, tonight, you choose to support your kidneys. Tonight, you calm your bladder. And tonight, you begin the quiet, powerful work of restoration, because true health isn't a miracle, it's a conquest. And those who reclaim their nights will rise to rule their days. Subscribe to Healthology. For those who do not wait for healing but build it, plant by plant, choice by choice. Your body is your kingdom. Rule it wisely.